I wouldn't pass data to Meta of conversions without a click ID.
Right.
That's now standard.
Right.
If you're passing in data with a click ID, absolutely do a one-day view. There's no reason not to, because you're going to see the truth as to when you import a first click ID, and maybe that campaign is off, or maybe that ad set is off. It won't really attribute anything that is kind of shut off and not really done so before, but it is last click attributed or last one-day view attributed. So if I upload a conversion that says, hey, here's the click ID, and they had a click over here in an actual one-day view and then went and purchased, you'll see the one-day view in the campaign that's still active and has one-day actual views, because they can't attribute a click to something that has been off. So they will default to the last thing that it actually has happened. Now, that is off of data that has click attributed. Like, we know it came from Meta. And so Meta represents where it came from Meta accurately. This is going to be really, really, really simple. Let's just call this, think about our brains in two different modes. And one is going to be business owner, one's digital marketer. This is business owner, this is digital marketer, and this is where we all fuck up. If 28 goes to 57 after a week, and then 57 turns into 62 after 28 days, you have a 30 to 57 to 62. Okay, we can see that sales cycle. We see that path. Out of a 28-day range, you can actually go and double your sales in 30 days, going from 30 to 60.
Yeah,
okay.
Just do the funnel.
Right. Now, would everyone agree that it takes 30 days to go from 28 to 62? Yes. If that takes a month, how the hell do we have 164 that are just so good they just see the ad in one day?
Yeah.
Those two cannot be true.
100%. I personally do not use View. I just don't like View. But that's just
scalability is.
But like for like the reason of like the quantitative data like that. But I agree like with your idea on like how everyone's going into like Wally mode when it comes to these, right? Like people aren't going to click on the ad; they're going to just see it and then convert. But
100%, they're
but the view attribution, like I said, yeah, it's like, and I think Alex said in the chat too, like yeah, like a lot of people don't like one-day view for that reason because it's just super inaccurate. But I'm trying to wrap my head around. So you're saying that so right now it's sort of fingerprinting people. It's not really like attributing properly because it's pulling in just assumed data. Let's just simplify it. Assumed data of the user and counting that as a sale.
Yeah, if we tell Meta, hey, we made a sale, is it you? They default to absolutely, and they just convert it in one day because they don't have data that said that actually happened.
Right. So you're training the algorithm on faulty data because it's trying to guess on if you converted or not.
And
so
what concentration of that bad quality data is the sum of your total?
Right.
It's 2,200 compared to the 600 of click data. So what is it? Basically 75% false data.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same. Well, it's the same kind of thing as on YouTube, like to bring it on Google, like the view versus click data. So that's what I'm trying to understand though. Is so, but you're still using it because you're importing in click data. So why are you still, what's the benefit of it that you're seeing that I think will help make this more clear?
So my first showcase was, this is when we're using no first click to first click, which we already knew from our SL Afflo funnels that their entire Meta account has been trained to shit for over a year. So then we said, okay, cool, let's try the one, which was that next campaign. And we found out, okay, that has a lot of data because we aren't passing in click. Now, since December, I've been passing in first click CAPI imports into my company. So what does my company look like? Well, I mean, in this time period here.
Well, real quick, just for context. So you're passing in first click CAPI imports from a third party, but you're still using the one-day view attribution.
And because I'm only passing in data with click IDs, my company looks like this for 7-day and this for 1 day.
Okay. Okay, gotcha.
Now I have 1,900 7-day clicks, and I only added 43 1-day views to make 1,949. So if I have 1,900 to 1,900, I really don't care about the 43. It doesn't matter to me. I can actually use my results column for cost caps, for actual scale, for new customer growth, because these people actually clicked, rather than every other account I have access to has 2/3 of the data. The people that Meta claimed attribution for because they told us, don't send us click ID, we'll match it, don't worry. they matched everybody, whether they actually had an interaction or not. So the actual attribution that Meta uses is if you send it to them, they will attribute it to a one-day view wherever they want.
Right. So I get that. So what's the benefit of having one-day view on then?
You really don't need it.
Okay. That really answered my question then. Because I'm just because like the philosophy that we have in the school group that based on all of our conversations is focus on 7-day click, add one-day view if you want, only when you have first click CAPI imports.
Well, if you have first click CAPI imports, you can absolutely use the one-day view. You're not going to be susceptible to having 2/3 of your conversions be there because you're actually representing inside of Meta what actually happened. So if I didn't have first click CAPI imports, well, actually, you know what's funny? Look at this one. This one here uses a standard event. That one has 65 clicks and 37 one-day views. So I almost have the same amount of one-day views by getting 65 clicks as I do to the one that get 1,900 clicks. You see, like the delta between these two is, what is that? So we got 7.
Let's just say around 50%, a little bit over.
Yeah, I mean, we basically have like, what is that? 6 more?
Literally.
So you have 6 more attributed with a delta of like 1,800. That is beautiful. Like that shows that this is not inflated. This one is very hyperinflated. And also the reason why in this campaign here, it's a $44 purchase instead of $215, because that 44 is fake.
Yeah, it's inflated. No, it makes sense. I guess I'm just still trying to wrap my head around. Okay, so I mean, at the end of the day, then it's just like, in short, don't run one-day view. That's kind of what I'm getting from this, from what it sounds like, because one-day view, if you don't like one-day view is going to, it has more problems than like it has more problems than benefits in the account, though, from what I'm understanding now.
Well, I think there's 2 things. What the first part is, I wouldn't pass data to Meta of conversions without a click ID.
Right.
That's now standard.
Right.
If you're passing in data with a click ID, absolutely do a one-day view. There's no reason not to, because you're going to see the truth as to when you import a first click ID, and maybe that campaign is off, or maybe that ad set is off. It won't really attribute to anything that is kind of shut off and not really done so before, but it is last click attributed or last one-day view attributed. So if I upload a conversion that says, here's the click ID, and they had a click over here in an actual one-day view and then went and purchased, you'll see the one-day view in the campaign that's still active and has one-day actual views, because they can't attribute a click to something that has been off. So they will default to the last thing that it actually has happened. Now, that is off of data that has click attributed. Like, we know it came from Meta. And so Meta represents where it came from Meta accurately. Say, hey, we had 27 people that clicked on a TikTok ad and bought today. And I send the 27 conversions to Meta, which is what Elevar does, what anything that is not using a first click does, which is what Meta does. All the standard attribution says, take those 27 TikTok conversions and send them to Meta. And Meta says, thanks for the 27. They were all one-day views there. So if you're sending data to Meta, and you're sending data that you know is coming from a different source, and you're sending that to Meta, and you're going to use one-day view, they will be just attributed to a campaign that had nothing to do with it. It was TikTok. Remember, we know it's TikTok, but Meta will take 100% attribution for it in the one-day view. So would you use one-day view? Well, I have to ask you, are you sending TikTok conversions to Meta to see if they'll take attribution for it? If you're doing that, my suggestion is don't do that first. Hey, if you like this video, we have a school community where we have a few hundred members, and we cover topics, everything from the basics to all the way to the like hyper crazy advanced stuff that's like coming out next month. So a few hundred members there. We go live twice a week, something with an hour-long education about something that is very relevant to the community that week, plus a weekly Q&A where you just get to come and bring us all of your problems, and we solve them one at a time.
So I have a link below in the description if you want to join. And then obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and we can answer those for you. And we'll see you in there.